Morning. Let me get the links out as normal, and then we can get straight into it. There we go, that's one. That's the other. Okay, amazing. So good morning, welcome back. Officially the London opening session. Okay, London should open about an hour and a half, about 8:30. Got a little bit of movement last night, nothing too crazy. There's a couple of things that we need to go over really. So in yesterday's update, prices were literally compressing just here, as you can see. Going literally basically an hour after uploading that update, we did break through. Now on that update we did discuss the potential of breaking to the downside and breaking through the trend line. We had this level as support, as well as I think this level here on that breakout. So we broke through, came to the next one. We actually came all the way to the bottom of that range that we've been talking about in our updates. It's time to accumulate here and start to make a push back up. Now, what I wanted to touch on is the news that's come out. Now, I have sent the article in to you guys, so hopefully you've seen it and read it. If not, we can go over it anyway. Essentially, Binance has had a lawsuit put against it. CZ and I can't remember the other geezer, Lim. Let me get the article up. I'll get it to you. Now, I mean, we got a little bit of movement on crypto. It wasn't crazy. Now, obviously, the allegations are against CZ as well as Samuel Lim. But the CFTC is saying that it was Binance US. Okay, so it was so obviously it's the US regulator that's coming against Binance, but Binance.com is outside of the US. Okay, so obviously Binance has got a separate branch called Binance US, which is the one that's being sued technically, or the kind of business that is being sued. It's obviously a smaller market compared to Binance.com. So I mean, we shouldn't be expecting too much movement, but if there's any further developments in terms of implications with CZ, and anything else is actually found out, then I mean, it's the biggest crypto exchange, so things will not look good. But at the moment, I mean, by the looks of it, I'm checking on Twitter, CZ's reply is basically calling it fake news. So I mean, we'll see kind of the developments on that side of things. I guess worst scenario really that at the moment is looking like a fine. I'm pretty sure Binance will be able to sort that out. That's not a problem. But I mean, the evidence that the CFTC is saying that they have against CZ and Binance US is pretty solid. So I mean, we'll see how things are going to play out. Realistically, I mean, if it was really bad, then the market would have crashed straight through this area here. Would have seen a much more of a volatile move. So keep a close eye on CZ's Twitter. That's going to be important. I mean, important in the sense of kind of how he's going to deal with it, his response. And obviously we saw Sam Bankman-Fried and his dealings of the FTX situation wasn't great. So I guess it's kind of the same thing over here. CZ's response is going to be important. At the moment, obviously, he's not said much, just calling it fake news. So I presume he's trying to maybe come to terms with sorting out behind the scenes a little bit. Um, so yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's something to keep your eyes on. It's not exactly obviously good news for crypto. And obviously it's definitely going to bring some volatility to the market if anything does escalate. But I mean, for now, clearly we're not seeing a crazy amount of movement off the back end. So it's not. There needs to be a bit some more developments on that side. But yeah, apart from that, that's basically the major news. There's another bit of news in terms of MicroStrategy paying off its debt. Let me get it, Micro. And in the reports, they've accumulated more crypto, more Bitcoin. So it kind of looks like they've kind of salvaged themselves. So yeah, MicroStrategy pays off Silvergate loan. I think it was 100 and something million. And yeah, 161 mil. And the collateral in Bitcoin has been released, 34,619 Bitcoins. And in between, I think the start of the year, they accumulated something like the acquisition of another 6,455 Bitcoins. So, I mean, it looks like they've somehow sorted themselves out. So, yeah, that's mainly the news, really. Nothing really has developed in terms of the banking sector at the moment. So, yeah. Let me just get this article sent. Okay, amazing. Get some radio on. So let's see if we can capitalize on a couple of trades. We did open some longs last night, right? A couple of them didn't work out. Obviously, the market was kind of moving up and down. Nothing too crazy, but we kept our stops relatively tight. But I mean, we capitalized on ApeCoin. Was a nice trade. Let me get it. It's nicely up, to be fair. So we've cashed out, so we're not. We're no longer in it, but it's a nice profit, about 100%. So can't complain. Yeah, those that are just joining us, welcome. Good morning. Feel free to message us in the chat with any TA that you want us to go over. We just went over some of the news that we got in terms of Binance being sued, which is obviously not good news, but yeah, then there's not enough right now, really. There was another development in terms of Coinbase as well. I've read last night. Yeah, it was a whistleblower. Yeah, by the looks of it, there's the regulators are cracking down on these crypto exchanges. Why? Mm, Maybe try and get them a little bit out of the market compared to get them out the market ahead of the release of their CBDCs, right? Okay, so putting all of that negative news out to the masses. Masses are going to think, okay, that's the crypto, well, or the current crypto exchanges are dodgy. I don't want my money there. It's going to be safer with the banks. So yeah, there's always a reason behind all of this. But yeah, true, true. Now our oil trade yesterday absolutely flew. We got out too early, unfortunately. It's just one of them. Um, yeah, we literally got out here and it just blew up. Um, but I mean, we cashed out, got some profit out of it, but we did miss quite a big move. So we'll look for a potential re-entry. Still a little bit more space for things to run up into, but it's a bit of a late. Uh, it's not. It's not an ideal entry. I can take all of this out. This was in the case that things went to the downside. That's your trend line that we're moving within. Um, but yeah, coming up to resistance. But what a move! Very nice structure. Yeah, we literally got out just here. Things were just not moving. Got out on this candle. Um, but yeah, it's one of them. Markets have been moving very, very slow. Yesterday, we weren't getting a lot of movement across the board, especially in crypto, was very weak. We even cashed out some of our shorts just before. It just didn't look like it was going to break out. Obviously, the release of that news kind of pushed things. um, but that's okay. We can search for some new opportunities. What a move. Beautiful trade, beautiful trade, beautiful trade. We were also in long on algo. Um, yeah, maybe things are starting to develop again, so we'll check some stuff out. Last night we went in on DYDX. It pulled back overnight, so unfortunately didn't pull through. Just want to find those that naturally, whenever the market starts to rebound, um, there's certain crypto that really do move much more heavily. So yeah, let's see what we can get. Ideally, we want to see some volume as well. Some of that buy side seed, nice buy side. Just not nice structure. So we need that volume. We need that structure going hand in hand. See, link doesn't look too bad here. We could get a nice long position. How short? It's not an ideal risk reward. See if we can tighten it up. See a nice like pickup. So it could actually very much break through here. Let's go long here. Take this long. Um, Now the dollar index has left a gap on the top, right? Still looking weak. This is where it becomes a little bit dangerous because this is essentially going to be filled up, and whenever this goes up, crypto comes down. But it's just essentially how far down are we going to come down? We could come down to that level. Seen some nice moves. This has got some nice structure. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Just need that volume to follow through. This looks sweet. Ocean, ocean, ocean. Right, I think a long on link was the nicest one. Where is it? There we go. Just want to see a very quick move. Yeah, let's take. I'm gonna go long on link here, guys. See if we can break through here. Litecoin looks good.
Yeah, absolutely. I've learned a great deal, I think, from that conversation around Israel and the kind of subtleties, the granularity of this issue, what it means for Israel and investment there. Well, from civil unrest in Israel actually to a nationwide strike in France. French unions are trying to force President Emmanuel Macron to reverse his decision to push through the highly unpopular reforms to pensions, including raising that minimum retirement age in France by 2 years to 64. Joining us now, live from Paris, is Bloomberg's Caroline Connor. Great to have you on the programme, Caroline. So there are concerns there's going to be more strike action in France today. Vandalism and violence worries. There are such strong passions around this issue.
We're looking good here. Okay, let me have a little look at the other markets, see if we can capitalise on anything else this morning. Um, let me have a little look at the economic calendar. Let's have a little look at the forecast for today. Economic calendar. Okay, we've got some Australian dollar retail sales. Let me get the actual economic calendar up. Is it Tuesday? Okay. Okay, so retail sales have already come out, 0.2%. So actually an increase, which is good. Let's see if we can get any sort of other movements here. Apart from that, I mean, it's pretty clear for the rest of the day. Really, we do get a little bit of US data, nothing too crazy. House price indexes, retail inventories, goods trade balance. It's not. It's kind of more niche sort of data. Um, they get an ECB President Lagarde speech coming out, and then we also get consumer confidence from the US, which will be worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, so it's a polarising issue.
Andrew Bailey talks in about a couple of hours.
Caroline, thank you so much.
but apart from that, there really isn't. BOJ core CPI has come out 2.7%, actually a decrease. So yeah, I mean, in terms of kind of movement, it's not the most ideal time to get in, really. See pounds, yen. Just not liking the structure currently. Yeah, the FX isn't looking great. Let's have a look at gold. Gold saw a nice. Ooh, hello, hello, hello. It's looking okay. Yeah, so I was about to say, I mean, things look like they were rebounding, but clearly coming straight back down. So you could actually see some sort of potential short. Yeah, I'm going to take a short here on gold as well. That looks pretty sweet. Link long, yeah, link long, link long. Link long. We're in long on Litecoin as well. We're taking a short on gold. Let's see if we can get a nice push down. Even towards here is okay. A little bit of liquidity back down. This is looking pretty weak.
Over in the US, a top Fed official has described the banking sector as, quote, sound and resilient. The Fed Vice Chair for Supervision, Michael Barr, made the comments in prepared remarks for the Senate Banking Committee hearing later today. Barr is leading a review of what led to Silicon Valley banking collapse and says that the lender failure is a textbook case of mismanagement.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what's that. What's your suggestion? Next move, BTC 25k. So again, we did mention a. We did send out an update yesterday, so feel free to go and watch that. The important one, the important update that we sent out, where we actually discuss kind of some data coming in terms of projections, market projections, expectations, as well as the Fed's projection expectations for the rest of the year. So it's an important update. It got sent out on Friday. It's not on TradingView. Yeah, it's not on TradingView, so you can find it elsewhere. And then we did send out an update yesterday and the day before, where we kind of discussed potential longer term targets. But the one on Friday, sent on Friday, please do watch that. It's an important update for kind of the next month. But anyway, so to answer your question, this is the range that we're moving within, right? Here we had this tighter range here, and you have your kind of wider range, well, current range that we're moving within. Obviously, we got that breakout, we come back down, tested the order block or the bottom of the range for liquidity, as well as that 100 moving average. So it's a nice test of support. Now we're expecting a little bit of a move back up, right? I'm not expecting a crazy moves to play out this week. Now, obviously, I mean, any developments in terms of the Binance lawsuit is going to cause implications. And again, this is something that I did mention. The way that this week is structured, it's not structured for crazy moves unless you have unexpected news coming out. Okay. But the wider range, so if something unexpected comes and plays out, right, you've got, just like you said, 25k, yeah, so this area just here, you got that 200 on the 4 hour, as well as kind of previous structure that you're playing out. Sorry, you won't be able to see that. As you can see here, previous structure, we got order block just here. As you can see, nice liquidity area. So between 25 and 24,500, okay, is a good next strong area of support. Now, in terms of resistance, if we get something that's positive, when we break out to the top, we got 30 to 32,000. Now, as you can see, I mean, I placed the box at 30,000 just because it's a nice round psychological number. That's essentially where you're going to see the some resistance playing too. But in terms of wider, it could go push all the way to the top to about 32. You may ask why. It's the key pivotal kind of range on Bitcoin. Okay, so yeah, this whole area here is kind of your stronghold, your pivotal point on the chart. You might find a stronger area in terms of orders on your Bitcoin chart. That's where it's at. It's the pivotal point. So yeah, that's your kind of wider TA. But yeah, as mentioned, go and check out the Friday update. It's the important update where we do discuss all the data and projections in terms of interest rates coming out for the rest of the year. And it's important just because the dynamics, or the current dynamics that we've currently got in terms of market expectations and Fed expectations are just completely worlds apart, and that does cause an implication if the data doesn't show signs of bettering, which obviously the markets want. So if CPI, for instance, next month does not show significant signs of declining, it's not good. Markets will not take that good. We are in a data-driven market. It's going from data point to data point because the Fed is doing that as well. The Fed isn't giving very clear guidance. Okay, it's not upfront, cutthroat messaging. Okay, it's leaving a grey area in terms for markets to take it in an optimistic sense, which is exactly the dynamic that we're in, right? So yeah, I mean, we'll see how things going to play out, see whether we can get a nice push up. It could be the case that we just mess about up and down a little bit, just because we've got this gap left behind here on the dollar as well. But I'm seeing that we could actually potentially move a little bit lower. This is where you kind of got a little bit more structure in terms of support. Not seeing too much here, so just here, do that as a and just here as well. So could be the case that we just either fall to here or fall to here, and then start and start moving back up and fill up that gap. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how things kind of play out. Yeah, but I'm not seeing that huge move. Um, you didn't really get too much of a reaction off that CZ Binance news. Really, realistically, if the markets were taking bad to that, you wouldn't have had this period of consolidation for so long. It would have just continued back down after a couple of candles. Um, so yeah, I mean, we'll see how things kind of play out. Yeah, should be okay. I mean, we're at that stronger level of support. Could be the case, okay, we come down, test, and then actually see a bit of a stronger reaction. We just need that buy side to start picking up like that buy side volume. But I mean, look at this. I mean, the sellers have declined here, still looking weak. Yeah, looking like we're going to rebound again, as mentioned in the update that we sent out on Sunday. And I mean, we were expecting very low volume for the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm not expecting crazy moves. Crazy moves and the opportunities really are going to be in your commodities, which I mean have been playing exactly like that. So let me have a little look. Yeah, so gold is moving a little bit, not too crazy. We'll see whether we can make a move down. I'm going to move it to break even in a second. But yeah, your commodities have traded really nicely for the beginning of the week. That's where your opportunities are now. Um, in general, the overall market is moving very slow. So you kind of need to be a little bit more patient than normal. And just look for the right setups. But yeah, things are moving. Okay, I mean, again, as expected, it's the final week of the month, the final week of the quarter. And the data in terms of the economic calendar set up for the week. The strong data comes out Thursday and Friday. So yeah, you shouldn't really be expecting crazy opportunities until Thursday, Friday. That's where you're going to get the stronger setups. Okay, I can get rid of that now. But yeah, I mean, it's clearly just setting up some structure. It's nice little order block just there. So see how things kind of play out. Gotta let it just do its thing a little bit. As you can see, we're just setting some structure up. And realistically, I mean, this is now starting to rebound a little bit, and crypto isn't really reacting that much. So if we push, fill this gap, and then start to move down, this should start to make a move. It's a nice reactionary candle. So we'll see how things kind of play out. Your FX pairs are also just not moving amazingly. Bro, can you give me a CFX signal? I'm having a look. So, I mean, we've gone short on gold. Uh, that's what we're in right now. In terms of the FX space, the FX commodities, or your traditional markets, that's what we're in. There isn't a crazy deal, to be honest. There is not a crazy deal. It's just because we're not getting too much data coming out right now, so just don't be expecting insane moves. No, no. Yeah, just the setups just aren't nice. Mm. Very not. Yeah, the best thing is kind of your equities. Your equity, sorry, your property, your commodities is where it's at. It's just we're not getting the data. Okay, there's not a flow of data coming out. Let's have a look at gas. Gas don't look too bad. Natural gas looks pretty sweet. Don't know how much more steam there's left on it. Yeah, just don't look too bad to be fair. Let's have a little take on it. Relatively nice entry. If we can hold on to this level here, we could get good. And there's still a bit of a gap as well there. Right, we're going to take a long here on gas as well. See if we can get something on it. Bam. Yeah, let's go. Da, 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 da. Beautiful. Slowly but surely, guys. Slowly but surely. It's just, I mean, look at that structure. It's just not a nice structure, is it? By the way, guys, those that are just joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. Feel free to message us in the chat section with any TA that you want us to go over. More than happy to touch base on things. But yeah, let's see what we can get. We're currently in on a couple of longs. Long in terms of crypto, long on Link, long on Litecoin. See if we can push straight back into structure. Not looking too bad. See if we can get in on a long here as well. Just wanna. This is essentially going to start making its way towards the top again. So depends whether you want to treat it really short term or not. By the way, thank you for the likes on the stream as well as the follows. Very much appreciated. Okay.
European stocks hit a fresh record. Bears have basically been rendered obsolete. Are you worried about a wage price spiral?
Sorry, guys, bear with me. Just trying to. I need to reply. Yeah, we're looking okay. Starting to push up nicely. Pushing up nicely. I'm going to be in and out of these. I think the altcoins at least nice and quick, and this one maybe a little bit. It's kind of stick to a little bit longer. It's not going to make its way all the way to the top there in a short space of time. It's going to take a little bit of time to accumulate to get up there. So yeah, we'll let things kind of brew, let them play out. Yeah, I just need this gap to be filled up ideally. Once that gap's filled up, we're in the good. Still got space to come down, to go up. Yeah. Thing is also, I mean, we got PCE prices coming out on Friday. PCE price index. Now, we could see that start to come down, which is going to be bullish for the markets. So this will come down. Bitcoin should go up. So I mean, essentially, by the end of the week, we should end up at a higher price compared to where we are currently. Just going off the economic calendar structure for the week. So, yeah, it's not bad entry to even hold. But I mean, yeah, we'll see. There's going to be a little bit of volatility to come in as kind of prices come up. Obviously, we've kind of bounced off this previous support here. So, yeah, we should slowly be making our way up towards kind of these levels. Yeah, we've got a little bit of liquidity at this point. So we've got a few areas at which we kind of going to keep our eyes on as prices kind of develop. But yeah, let's see. As always, those that are just joining us, welcome. Good morning. Feel free to message us in the chat any TA that you want us to go over. I'm more than happy to touch base on that. But yeah, there's a little bit of warming up that needs to be done. Then London Open opens up in about 30 minutes. So yeah, things should slowly start to pick up a little bit. Yeah. Um, so long natural gas, shorts gold, long Litecoin, long Link, and long Bitcoin. So some decent opportunities here, guys.
Yeah, it was quite pointed that he sent the letter was published and the trade
Thank you
commission
for the likes as well. Much appreciated. Yeah, things are slowly moving in that direction. Link looks good. I mean, this structure here looks really nice. Looks ready to ramp. I mean, even being very, very pessimistic. I mean, 1.4%, decent move. Using nice amount of leverage, quick in and out. Um, yeah, yeah, we're looking good. Link TP is 7.05 at the moment. We got it just above, but we will gauge price as it kind of reaches this area here. Okay, just because previous structure as well as that 50 coming down, so you will have to gauge it as price kind of comes into this area. It could start stalling, so I mean, if you really want to be safe and just get in and out, um, about $7, between $7 and 6.98 is a good target, very good target. Um, but giving it a little bit could overextend just over just slightly. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how things. We're going to keep an eye and manage it. If you want to have kind of more of a hands free approach, just set it to 6.98, nice and safe. You'll be in and out of the trade nice and quickly. Um, so yeah. Right, here we go, here we go, here we go.
Switzerland's finance minister defended the government-backed takeover of Credit Suisse.
All right. Just want it to come down just ever so slightly here on gold, and then I'm just gonna move my stop loss straight to break even. Nice and sweet. Like I said, guys, your commodities have been amazing to trade this month in general. It's really really nice structure to play off. Um, yeah, that's where in terms of traditional markets, that's where you wanna um, focus a good amount of time because the setups are so nice, especially if you trade crypto and you're used to trading crypto predominantly. Um, Commodities are nice kind of switch over. Um, yeah, right. I'm going to break even here. I just wanna. How long have I got on the candle? Still just only open. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go break even. guys. This is why you join these live streams. And just being absolutely popping. Okay, it's free signals, literally free money making opportunities for you guys. Cannot go wrong. Okay, getting a little bit more of a prop up in crypto. See if we can get continuation. Ideally, we don't want to see a break through this previous candle here. Yeah, right, I'm gonna close. It's not looking good. Do do do. Alright, let's see what we can get here. Yeah, crypto, I mean, you're just going to have to be patient a little bit. We're about 25 minutes out from that London Open, so should see a little bit of volatility, but just, yeah. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Let it brew, let it build up on some order flow. Ready to break. Those that are just joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, as always, I mean, a lot of you guys are going to be returning to the lives, so you know the score. But for those that are new, feel free to message us in the chat any ETA that you want us to go over. Give it a go. Yeah, just shout it out. Let us know. We'll take a look at it. Again, doesn't need to be crypto related. Literally anything. Got a little bit of profit out. That wasn't crazy, but again, profit is profit. Cash it in. It all adds up. I'm building on some nice structure. I think it does look really, really nice. I mean, just look at that candle structure there. Very nice candle structure. Now, I mean, Litecoin looks good. Litecoin has a tendency to be a little bit more volatile. Um, so, I mean, we're bouncing off this area of liquidity. The only thing is just beneath that 200 moving average on the hourly, but it's not a deal breaker. Um, so we could very much easily push straight through it, straight back above it. It's an hourly 200 moving average, so it will hold a little bit of strength. But it's not gonna be major. Again, as mentioned, it's not a deal breaker. Um, so yeah, maybe a little bit of a pullback and then go again. Again, as mentioned, I mean we've pushed down to that bottom of that range. Um, so essentially, there's the room is above. I don't see a break through here and a down to 25 unless it's unexpected news that comes out and makes that volatile movement. Other than that, yeah, we are literally sticking to this range. Again, this is all being mentioned in the updates that we've been sending out. Even yesterday, we spoke about the potential of breaking through and actually coming down here as it was compressing. And literally, I think it was about an hour or two after sending that update out, the break came. So yeah, that's whenever you're in these trend lines, right? Okay, so whenever you're in these ranges, okay, so you got top, you got bottom. Okay, see how you've got that trend line, it breaks out. You got this trend line, it breaks out. You even had a trend line here and it broke out here. You get these trend lines over and over and over again. Okay, and it's a good structure to play to. Very nice structure to play to. You can capitalize on nice trades whenever things are in this structure. It's just about kind of knowing, okay, this is a structure that we're moving into. Because of okay, the majority of data's come out. There's a bit of a gap in between your data releases. You need to understand the market that we're in. These risk-on markets are, well, especially crypto, right? It's a data-driven market. It moves from data point to data point. That's how it's working. Um, so whenever there's a gap, okay, because there's no data coming out that's really going to impact U.S. market. Sorry, the U.S. market or the crypto market, right? Until Thursday, Friday. So markets are essentially going to kind of hold off until that data comes out. As well, it's the end of the month, the end of the quarter. Naturally, things kind of tail off a little bit, and yeah, just kind of quieten it down. Now, do bear in mind, again, it's something that we have mentioned. You should bear this in mind. Next month is the new financial year. Okay, so naturally, there's a little bit of profit taking ahead of that new financial year. So, it could be the case that next week or the week after, you start seeing a bit more red coming in a little bit. Things kind of switching over and setting up for the new financial year, as well as ahead of that CPI figure. Again, mentioned in that market update that we sent out on Friday, very important market update. Um, the next CPI report it could make or break the market, essentially. It really could. Okay. Okay. See if we can make a push. This is kind of the next area of resistance on Bitcoin. Now, again, since we broke through this trend line here, see, okay, the same thing is going to start to play out here again. Okay, here's your trend line. We're just going to make a push, come back down. Structure. Push, structure. That's what we're going to do. And then towards the end of the week, where we get the big data, or when some data comes out, bam, we'll make a break. Or we'll rebound much heavier and break through these levels of resistance. But that's how the market is just moving. Okay, we're in within the range. Okay, now we've come to the bottom. Now, essentially, we'll start to do this accumulation process again. You see how we come down here, test that support level. Okay, test it again, and then we push up again. Then we compress, we break through. Same thing's gonna happen here. Okay, even here, see how we got structure here, here. We broke out, we come back, we've retested, pushed up, come back, retested, compressed. Okay, back down, tested. The market is full of structure, full of patterns that you can just play with and go with. It gives you a lot of nice opportunities to capitalize on. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes. Come on, give me some movement. Yeah, I mean today is really really quiet day for data. Um, Nothing significant. Now we do get Andrew Bailey speaking at 9:45 UK time. So we got something to kind of listen into. Um, but I mean, apart from that, there really isn't a great deal. But that speech is going to be good to listen into just because obviously UK inflation has pushed back up. Um, Now, I mean, a lot of it, I presume, is just going to be okay, kind of calm the public down, calm the markets, the UK markets down, essentially. Um, so, yeah, I'm not expecting anything heck, out of the ordinary. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so now here we, as you can see, we're building on structure. Here's your compression. See, here's your compression. Hopefully we break to the top. But yeah, that's what things are playing into. Let me make it a little bit clearer for you. Yeah, bam, bam. Mm-mm-mm. Might be able to get back in on gold. It's not looking too bad. Yeah, let's go back in on gold.
the story out of the United States. 3 children and 3 adults have been killed at a school shooting in Tennessee. Police shot dead the attacker, who they have identified as a 28-year-old former student, who they say identified as transgender. Following the tragedy, President Joe Biden again called on Congress to ban assault weapons, saying that gun violence is ripping out the soul of the nation. The chairman of Barclays has described recent allegations against the former CEO Jeff Staley over his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein as, quote, serious and new. It's the lender's first update on the matter since Staley left the bank back in November 2021. Staley quit as Barclays boss after UK regulators found that he had underplayed his relationship with the paedophile.
Right, so this is where we're looking at things kind of holding ideally. This is where, I mean, those that are uncomfortable with setting your fibs, this is a good area to kind of check. See here, somewhere in between here is a good area to hold and then start to accumulate to make that break. Slowly but surely, London Open opens up very soon. Alright. We're holding.
Hear the full conversation on the latest edition of the Bloomberg Business Week podcast. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. Plus, listen anytime on the Bloomberg Business app and Bloomberg.com. Bloomberg Television, first in global business news.
The markets matter, and they are moving.
Yields that should lower globally.
From New York to San Francisco.
Headlines involving Twitter.
From London to Hong Kong.
It has been a week of huge gyration.
The world turns to Bloomberg for market-moving headlines.
All eyes are on what's going on in the tech space.
The dollar really taking control here.
Bloomberg Television, the Bloomberg Business app, and Bloomberg.com. Check your local listings for the cable or satellite provider in your area.
Your clients all have unique financial journeys. So why should their investment options be one size fits all? When you partner with Commonwealth Financial Network, you gain access to a comprehensive range of holistic investment
Come on.
that you can customize according to your client's goals.
Give me some movement.
Freedom of flexibility. Welcome to Commonwealth. To learn more, visit commonwealth.com. Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA Civic. A registered investment advisor.
145 over 92.
180 over 111.
I had a heart attack and cardiac arrest and then a stroke.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works for you.
Slowly but surely.
Markets, headlines, and breaking news 24 hours a day. At Bloomberg.com, on Bloomberg Television, and the Bloomberg Business app. This is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
Just looks horrific. Dollar does not look healthy.
It is 8:21 here in London. I'm Anna Edwards. We check the markets all day long here at Bloomberg. So stock markets here in Europe up by 0.5%. The FTSE 100 on par with that, up by around 0.5%. The CAC 40 up 0.6%. The Xetra DAX also 0.5%.
Yes, go on, gold. Give me some. Give me some movement. That's what we want.
We did some of the work yesterday and we continue that today, trying to put the worst of the banking drama behind us, perhaps. In terms of the sector breakdown, it's actually not a particularly banks-focused story. We do have banks up by 1.2%, but we also have basic resource, so mining stocks up by 1.3% and energy names up by 1.4%, partly driven by a big rally in oil prices yesterday. We're now pretty flat on the oil price, but $78.
Right, give me 2 seconds. I need to grab some coffee, quick time. Just ahead of this London Open. Be within 2 seconds.
US futures looking pretty mixed actually this morning. E-minis up 0.1%. Nasdaq futures pretty flat. We saw pretty mixed trade in the US yesterday as well. The oil price we've mentioned, a little bit of strength today, but a lot of strength in yesterday's session. We're seeing yields just dropping down a little bit at the 2-year and 30-year horizon. 10-year yields are entirely flat over in the United States. The dollar is weaker, so if you're looking for clues around the risk-on narrative today, there's one. The dollar is down by 0.2%. We see money going into the yen. It's up by 0.4%, so maybe not entirely risk-on. And the euro gains just 0.2% at 108.18. 123.22 is where we trade on cable. That is up by 0.3%. That is your Bloomberg Business Flash.
Okay, so those are the markets. Well, Bitcoin has fallen after the US regulator has said that it is suing Binance for allegedly breaking trading and derivatives rules. The world's largest crypto exchange says that the legal action is both unexpected and disappointing. Joining us now, a man whose analysis is never disappointing. Our markets guru, Eddie van der Belt, is here in studio. Crypto has seen something of a rebound, but now that has hit a wall.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
explain what's going on.
You know what? I think the more surprising thing for a lot of people is that crypto has been slowly creeping higher in the wake of that FTX failure that we saw late last year. But now, you know, we've got this intense focus on Binance, which is the biggest whale in a pool of quite big fish already. And you know, the problem for Binance is that it has been seen as an exchange that bends or break the rules wherever it operates. It wasn't very well loved in the UK. It is not very well loved in the US. And this is a problem for the industry as a whole, because Binance it punches far above the weight of anybody else in the industry. It is the biggest exchange out there, and therefore intense scrutiny will spill over into the rest of the cryptocurrencies.
Absolutely, it plays a big role. It's not only the CFTC, who we've heard from overnight, who are investigating them, the IRS, federal prosecutors, the SEC, plenty of regulatory scrutiny on this business. The most recent case, of course, is to do with the way that Binance didn't register with US regulators, even though it was seemingly allowing Americans to trade derivatives. So we'll see where this goes. Does this have the potential then to weigh on crypto assets and prices, Eddie? I was talking to one crypto voice earlier on who was suggesting that, I mean, everything that happens in the crypto world just makes crypto purists say, well, that's not proper crypto.
Yeah.
Actually, this supports the case for crypto. They always seem to find that argument.
Right. It's quite interesting to find that an industry was that key selling point was decentralization, to find one exchange so central to all of the trades. But look, I think with every exchange that collapses, with every new set of regulations, with everything that people talk about that would have killed crypto or should have brought crypto to its knees, every challenge that crypto survives makes it stronger.
We back. What we got happening? Okay, a little bit of a rebound. This isn't looking too fantastic though. Alright, I'm gonna widen this stop ever so slightly, just further down a little bit. This looks like, ooh, that's a bounce. Alright, we're gonna close this trade. Yeah.
Absolutely, Bitcoin at 20, just above 27,000 now. But yeah, that kind of idea of maybe 30,000 returning targets
Ba,
really
ba,
fascinating.
ba.
Thank you so much, Eddie, for being with us. Bloomberg's Markets Group, Eddie Vanderveld there. Taking a break from Bloomberg Sport, Bloomberg's Terminal
Not
Updates.
ideal, not ideal.
Updates and news from Eddie and the rest of his team by
What
12
we
a.m.
got?
Sport and return.
Okay, some got movement.
London Rush now, where we take you through some of the
We got
highlights
movement.
of UK businesses making announcements in London. And let's get to the first of those with
Alright, crypto should start to push.
change at the top of Diageo. I've spoken to Ivan Menezes so many times. No longer the CEO, or certainly through the end.
No, exactly, and he's a bit of a titan in the industry. He's been in the position for about 10 years. He's been at Diageo for about 25 years, and he will be.
Alright, our gold trade is closed.
Yeah. Now, what they've said is that they're going to replace him with current chief operating officer Gemma Crew, who will ultimately become one of the UK's most powerful female executives. Clearly, a big change at the top of this very important company. Now,
It's unfortunate.
joined Diageo
Take the L.
and Grand Metropolitan merged in 1997, so he really does have a lot of experience. The shares are down ever so slightly this morning, but not a significant move at all. And it seems that Deborah Crew is a qualified and capable candidate, or at least the market is seeing as that as a indicator moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very interesting. New female leading a FTSE 100 business. Ocado, then, another aspect to retail.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So Ocado.
See if we can. I'm gonna add a little bit more lots here to my gas trade as well.
Now, they have the solutions business, which they licensed to other companies, and they also have their retail operations, which is a joint venture with.
Okay, I've added some lots here as well. I'll push that down. Here we're looking okay.
But what's breaking it down, it comes down to a smaller order basket size. So on average, there are 45 items per order, but the average selling price has increased. So prices are rising about 8.3% on Ocado, and it's really a reflection, I guess, of the cost of living crisis, that people are not just accepting those price rises and continuing as they were, but perhaps they're cutting back a little bit when they're coming to their online groceries. And it's especially important as a pandemic winner that they are now returning to these pre-pandemic levels of order frequency. And people perhaps going out and buying their weekly shop as opposed to getting it delivered.
Quick word on Bellway.
Yes, very interesting. So high mortgage rates really sort of ground down the market and slowed it down towards the end of last year, particularly around autumn. Those mortgage rates have started to ease off, and that's exciting.
That dollar looks so weak.
The UK market. So they've said that although at the end of last year it was a little bit slower, they're now seeing a bit of a recovery in customer activity.
Okay, really interesting. Ending on Bellway. Thank you so much, Charles Capel with the London Rush. For more on those stories, read the London Rush at Bloomberg.com and, of course, on the terminal. An update on the markets next.
This is Bloomberg Daybreak Europe.
We have had one of the worst handled interest rate hiking cycles. This is not over yet.
It's a historic day in Switzerland and a day, frankly, we hoped would not come.
The government does recognize that there is some volatility in the market. We believe the UK financial system is fundamentally strong.
This visit is really a demonstration. China stands with Russia. China is not going to turn its back towards Russia.
Bloomberg Daybreak Europe.
See if we can get something else, I guess.
For the US, at least for the S&P 500, we had some stabilization, I think, in trading in Asia. MSCI Asia Pacific Index up 0.7%. But some moves are still for bond yields. On the 2-year Treasury yields, we're back above 4%, or we were earlier. We're now just at 3.98. Germany yields up by 5 basis points at 2.57. Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index, though, is softening down 0.2. Hannah.
Let's get to our top stories then, Carolina. We start with the Bank of England. The BOE Governor, Andrew Bailey, says interest rates will probably remain below the highs seen before the financial crisis. In a speech at the London School of Economics, Bailey hinted that the bank is now nearing
sharply this year because it's the reversal of the energy price shocks that we had last year. The issue for us is persistence, is what happens thereafter, really, actually, and what the underlying level of core inflation is in the economy.
See if we can hold this trend line. That'll be nice. We've just got to stop just beneath this area here. So we'll see how things kind of hold up. Could get a break as well. Break of that trend line is definitely going to start sending things much lower. Just hoping we can get a little bit of structure being built up for that push back up there. So we're on standby. Crypto trades are quite juicy though. Things are following structure quite nicely so far. Ideally, I mean, we want to see that move kind of materialize and see these cryptos kind of start pushing up nicely before the dollar index finds its support, starts to move back up to fill that gap. So yeah, kind of on a little bit of a time schedule. It could also be the case that, I mean, dollar finds support, pushes back up to fill that gap, and crypto relatively stays unchanged. If that's the case, then yeah, we should. We'll continue holding because it's a good sign that crypto will move back up. So even if, okay, we find support here, we push back up. When it fills this gap here, push down back to this structure to push back up or to push back down, whichever way it wants to go. But on that move, we should see some of these cryptos already kind of consolidated, loaded up, accumulated, ready for a bit of a stronger push up. As you can see, we're compressing, so got to give it a little bit of time to accumulate for that breakout. But things are looking like we're going to push up. We're holding that about 0.5 so far. Could still come down to that 618. So yeah, so far so good. Yeah, just got to be patient, guys. Again, as mentioned, the market and how the market is setting up for this week, it's going to test your patience. It's simple as. And again, in yesterday's trading session, I mentioned, if you've made a good amount of profit this month, this is your time to, okay, there's nothing really going to happen. I'm just gonna sit back, relax, and let things unfold for the next month. Yeah, there isn't going to be an insane amount of movement. But this month has been absolutely unreal. Unreal. Ba ba da ba da ba ba ba.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Wherever your business takes you, Bloomberg Radio is here with you.
Breaking economic news crossing the Bloomberg.
Powered by 2,700 journalists and analysts.
So let's get to some of the day's gainers.
In more than 120 countries around the world.
We are seeing a flatter picture for European stocks this morning.
We're the only 24/7 global business radio platform.
This market regime is going to come with more volatility.
Bloomberg Radio, the Bloomberg Business app, and BloombergRadio.com.
It's a very quiet morning for. I think a lot of people are just kind of getting a groove of their week this morning. What's the day?
Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world.
But yeah, I mean, if anyone's using Binance in the US, best be careful. Because I'm looking good. It's unfortunate, really. I mean, you can't even use Binance over here, but it's. I mean, you can use it with a VPN or that sort of stuff. But who wants to do that? Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Binance was the one. But yeah, regulators are cracking down, especially Western regulators are on top of it. They don't want it. But again, it's pushing that narrative. CBDCs, they want to put, and you'll see this as you kind of edge closer and closer towards that CBD sort of flip over. You're going to see a lot of FOD on the mainstream news against kind of these crypto exchanges and crypto in general, to push the narrative onto, okay, the CBDCs are the safer option for kind of the people that they're kind of the mainstream, right? Because they don't know any better, especially in the West, man. I like the amount of lies that we've been fed through mainstream media, and people have just ate it up. And you think that there would be a switch and people actually realizing this, especially after the whole pandemic sort of scenario and the lies that we got fed through that. That people would actually be like, okay, no, fuck the fucking mainstream media, but no, people still eat it for breakfast, which is just crazy to think about. So yeah, I presume the same thing's gonna happen with when the CBDCs are basically there. Now, I mean, the UK is literally a breeding ground. It's a breeding ground, it's a testing ground for a lot of things. Pharmaceuticals, for instance. I mean, yeah, so it's a major breeding ground, and the CBDC sort of motive is also probably going to be implemented here in the in the UK, first out of the sort of Western side of the world. Just because the UK public literally just they don't have a brain. No, we're looking good. We're looking good. Just patience, patience, patience. Things will move. Now, just it's big gutting on that gold trade. Things are starting to move back down. I'm out. I'm not getting involved again, but very strange structure. Let it do its thing. Seeing a little bit of a rebound on gas. Now, I did even just wanted to stick to that trend line. Stick to that trend line, we see a nice push up. So it's going to be a little bit of a longer term hold. I'm not expecting things to blow up within the hour, but yeah, holding for a little bit of time. Maybe for the course of today, going into tomorrow, maybe. Just it's got to give it that brewing time. Now, on the other hand, crypto is starting to ramp up, which is nice. Okay, start pushing to that area there. Okay, we just need, as soon as Bitcoin makes that breakthrough here, that kind of the breakthrough that structure, that's where your altcoins will then start to pick up. At the moment, it's just accumulating, building up on momentum slowly for that break.
Trojan horse and poses a long-term strategic cybersecurity concern. Rob Joyce says the United States needs to monitor the video sharing app's parent company to avoid a security incident 5, 10 or 20 years down the line. TikTok says it poses no
Oh, mate. The West is crumbling. Absolutely crumbling. The US or the West actually just predominantly the UK and US just can't handle a power shift. Just can't hack it. It's embarrassing. Come on, give me that break. Very, I mean, there's not a lot of people about, is there, this morning? Very quiet. Very, very, very quiet. Dee dee doo doo.
Thank you so much, Anna, for that update on our main news stories. Let's get to the markets now. And our guest this hour, Maria Minucci, who is the multi-asset fund manager at M&G Investments, joins us. Hi, Maria. Thanks so much for your time. I suppose, firstly, on the banking crisis, the two bank failures in the US, the investigations are now beginning both in the UK and the United States. Do you think that things have actually stabilised now? Outflows from US regional banks are still going out. Is this actually a stable situation in your view, firstly?
I think, I mean, it's still obviously evolving, and we are seeing, as you said, very important outflows from smaller US banks into larger US banks. I think what has been quite interesting to observe from a financial market standpoint is that investors seem to have, looked at this evolution of events and basically did not take too much worry in terms of, what the contagion could be or what the influences on potential recession will be, as we can see from, broad equity markets, which have remained quite resilient. And even when we look at our monitor of investors' narrative, the narrative around recession really has not been much in the last few weeks. So we're not really sure whether, this is more of a specific.
Yeah, I guess patience is being fully tested. It's very, very slow price action. Nothing crazy. Oil pushing up a little bit higher. Let's have a little look at sugar, see what's happening. Not good, not good, not good.
Absolutely. I think, we're 12 months into one of the most aggressive interest rate hikes cycles that we have seen. And, this is one example of where things are going to go wrong in this phase. And there is obviously a lag effect. So we've not seen
You could be coming and seeing a potential short position here on NZD USD. Could see an actual break towards bottom here, maybe.
Although from a very, very low level. But, I think those are all areas that as investors we have to keep a very close eye on in the coming months.
Yeah, okay. The pressures on the consumer. Goldman Sachs economists have increased the odds of a US recession over the next 12 months to 35% from 25%. Double Line Capital's Jeffrey Goodlack expects the recession to start within a few months. Wei Li at BlackRock says the markets are getting wrong when they're pricing interest rate cuts from the Fed to come. What's your view on the rates trajectory?
Well, in the last couple of weeks, we've seen actually central banks.
I quite like a short here.
Against inflation, and obviously we've seen the interest rates hike in Europe of 50 basis points, in the US of 25 basis points. a direct consequence on ability to spend growth and therefore demand. So I think this more tight approach from the banking sector is actually something that might support central banks in the fight against inflation.
And with that in mind, is the most important data point for you then the extent to which credit is still being offered in the US economy, or the extent to which it's dialed back? Because that's clearly what the Fed is uncertain about and watching closely.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting element to keep watching. Obviously, so far it's been more of a transfer from
Come on, give me some movement.
small to largest bank. But I think it will be interesting to see going forward, how much that dials back and what the effect is on the overall money supply in various areas in the US, obviously, but also in Europe.
What is your view on technology stocks? That's the other element where you've seen some say that this could be the kind of area where you see benefits. I'm thinking Michael Wilson over at Morgan Stanley saying that actually banking sector trouble could, could hurt the outlook for earnings, but tech shares might be positive.
I think it's very interesting the behavior that we've seen in this sector in the last 12 plus months. I mean, last year obviously it's been very, very tough in terms of the adjustments of valuation.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
You could argue today that on the interest rate cycle, you're probably closer to the end than to the beginning, without making strong bets on when the terminal rates might be. And that should be in a way supporting these type of stocks, which have already derated on the back of high or higher interest rates. On the other hand, you have a lot of companies in here that they have very strong positive cash flows, and they've just recently reduced some of their costs, as we've seen with cutting some of the workforce. So they are, I think, in a relatively good position.
That could help with the jobs cuts. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Maria, thanks very much. Thanks for joining us. Maria Manucci, multi-asset fund manager at M&G Investments.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, it was Michael Colombo.
Slowly in profit. Slowly.
Morgan Stanley, more bearish on US stocks, but it was over at JP Morgan Chase that they're thinking that technology stocks could be the big beneficiaries. Really great to get Maria's view on
This is
whether
where we're looking at it.
the tech firms
If it comes back down,
is more bullish
that's where we want it to go into.
Europe. We're going to get an update on the markets from our markets today team in a moment. David,
Slowly but surely, things are just compressing, accumulating. Ready for a move in the market.
That's why the International Center for Dispute Resolution provides a faster, more efficient approach to dispute resolution across borders. Backed by the American Arbitration Association, the ICDR is the world's leading provider of dispute resolution services. Find out why global expertise matters. Visit ICDR.org.
When news breaks across the globe, Bloomberg Radio is there. From Asia,
Xi Jinping says China wants to play a constructive role in finding peace for Ukraine.
to Europe,
The Bank of England has pushed ahead with another hike.
and anywhere in the world news happens.
we're going to go live to Taipei.
Frank Chris has more from Hong Kong.
In Davos, Switzerland, our David Weston.
Bloomberg's Tommaso Ebhart has more from Milan. Bloomberg's Simon Demakan reports from Istanbul.
Bloomberg Radio, on the ground, everywhere.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though they
Tell you what, this is looking pretty sweet though.
had that longing to have like,
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
if you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Whether you're an in-house counsel or in private practice, Bloomberg Law gives you the edge with the latest in AI-powered legal analytics, business insights, and workflow tools. You'll know the latest trends in the legal industry, helping you achieve better results for the practice of law, the business of law, the future of law. The difference is Bloomberg Law. Learn more at bloomberglaw.com.
But yeah, I mean, we'll get another update out for you all. Again today, just a quick update on what we're seeing in terms of kind of next lower time frame levels. yeah, I mean, if anything significantly changes, then we can go from high time frame again. But yeah, essentially we're just we broke through that trend line, come back down, tested the bottom of that range, and now just accumulating. Okay, so essentially what we're going to do now is push up, and then build some structure, go again, and then build up on another trend line, and then essentially okay, bam, come back down. But yeah, so we'll get an update. So at least you guys got that on record, and you can just quickly scout it out. As mentioned, obviously we don't send market updates on TradingView anymore. So just bear that in mind. Do not get market updates here on TradingView anymore. Okay. Okay, we're back at trend line. See if we can hold. We're gonna add some more gear. Yes. Okay, average 2232. There we go. Okay. Right, here we go. Coming up to next level. Okay, ideally, again, as mentioned, this is the area that you want to stick within. That would be a very nice test. Bam, rebound. Let's go. They're still looking weak. This is looking like, okay, bam, flopping right down into that area. And hopefully then we can get a nice reaction. Nice rebounding reaction there to push things up again. So just keep a close eye on things. Keep a close eye on Bitcoin. See how well it holds. Here we go. Give me that rebound. Alright, push past it. Push past it. Oh, get that back on. Come on, give me some wick on the bottom. It's a little bit of a bottom there, to be honest. It's not ideal. Right, next level. Can we hold? We come down to 786. See if we can hold it. Okay, now we got a little bit more support coming in, which is good.
Yeah, certainly is. But as you say, it's the inflation story that kind of dominates. I mean, those BRC figures are pretty difficult, aren't they, in terms of short prices? Okay. David, thank you so much for being with me. That is the editor of our markets today.
Tell you what, this is putting in some good profit right now.
All the details on the Markets Today live page. You can find that on the front page of the Bloomberg website. Also type T live on the Bloomberg terminal. Looking ahead to the rest of the day, Andrew Bailey
Oh.
at 9:45 a.m. So in just 45
Right, what we're gonna do is add a little bit of margin to our altcoins. I'm gonna move this. I need to move and adjust some of these stops just to give it a little bit more room. Okay, so 6.78. Come on, come on, come on. Bam. 85.6. Oh, come on.
Or listen on demand on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Broadcasting 24 hours a day at Bloomberg.com and the Bloomberg Business app.
Bam. You don't mess about. Right, so we're going to bear with me because I still need to. Okay, 2 seconds. I just need to add some margin to my trades here as well. Where am I going?
Crypto empire. US regulators accuse Binance and its CEO of, quote, sham compliance.
And work a special journey. All 8 of UK's 3-star Michelin restaurants retain their top-tier status.
That's all straight ahead on Bloomberg Daybreak Europe, on DAB Digital Radio London, Bloomberg 1130 New York, Bloomberg 99.1 Washington DC, Bloomberg 1061 Boston, Bloomberg 960 San Francisco, Sirius XM.
You should have sound, mate. You should have sound. It definitely is sound. Whoa.
Good morning from London, I'm Caroline Hepker.
Radio flying on London DAB radio.
So, in the markets this morning, it seems as if some of the concern around bank failures in the US is easing. European stocks are still up by 0.3%. The ECB, people like Isabel Schnabel, pushing for this month's statement to signal interest rate hikes ahead. So the idea that there could be more to come, and yet there's a big debate about the Fed and what it will do. In terms of yields then, 2-year US yields are still above 4% this morning, surging 6 basis points now on the 2-year yield to 4.01. German Bund is at 258, also surging another 7 basis points. So perhaps the volatility in the bond market is not over. US stock futures are higher for the S&P 500. Nasdaq easily slowly starting to ease off, down by close to 3 basis points. Session. The Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index is down 0.2%. Tom.
Okay, let's get you caught up with the rest of today's top stories then. Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey says interest rates will probably remain below the highs.
Yeah, still coming back down.
London School of Economics, Bailey hinted that the bank is now nearing the end
series of hikes in 3 decades.
Even as we now respond to rising inflation by raising bank rates, interest rates will not necessarily have to return fully to and remain around the higher levels they once had.
Bailey spoke as new data showed price inflation in shops in the UK hit a record high this month.
Got it now. Thanks. No worries. Yeah, I mean, if you're just joining us, welcome. Feel free to ask us anything in the chat, anything that you want us to go over. Just send it in. We're in a few long positions in terms of crypto. Okay, we've just let me just get my average up. 2 seconds.
In an age of social media, the speed at which runs can take place, and also, of course, in an age of digital banking, the speed at which the social media can be translated into loss. I mean, it is striking, that happened very quickly, and of course, word gets around. So this is very different from the Northern Rock.
So SVB's UK unit suffered a rapid withdrawal of deposits just earlier this month as concerns over the bank's viability grew, and that led to HSBC stepping in to buy the British unit for £1.
Sorry, 2 seconds. I'm just sorting my positions out here.
Said that the acquisition made great sense and had nothing to do with pressure from regulators. You've heard a couple of snippets there from the Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey. He is up in front of the Treasury Select Committee answering questions from MPs around Silicon Valley Bank. That starts
Okay, so we got.
that hearing in a few of the questions for you a little bit later on this hour.
Okay, meanwhile, over in the US,
Okay.
the banking system there as, quote, sound and resilient. Fed Vice Chair for Supervision, Michael Barr, made the comments in prepared remarks for a Senate Banking Committee hearing later today.
My average comes in at 20. Okay, so that's my average coming in here now. So, yeah, let's see how things gonna play out. Just gotta give it a little bit of time to do its thing. There is more upward pressure, or shall I say, there's more space for things to push up than below. It's already come down and tested that area, that bottom part of that range, as you can see here. Now we're compressing in price. Yeah, I see things breaking up higher here. Now, if we do break down lower, just bear in mind, it could be a very short fake out to the bottom here, and then just straight build, basically push back up and start pushing up higher again. So you could see a fake out to the bottom, and then it push straight back in structure. At the moment, you are actually seeing a little bit of stronger buy side slowly coming in here, nicely here. Very weak sell side. Saw a little bit on that candle there. Nothing too crazy. Bouncing off that 786 currently, which is nice. So just needed to start accumulating, essentially. I can take this out now. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see how things kind of play out, yeah, but just got to be patient with it, essentially. We're in on a short here on NZD USD. Pulling in some nice profits. Okay, caught it perfectly. Now, things could push up a little bit higher towards that 618. I mean, we're quite nicely positioned in, so I think it might actually be worth just to move it to stop the stop loss to break even here. Let me just update some people. Yeah, let's do the move as well to break even. Okay, so we're break even. Well, we're risk free on NZD USD. Can't go wrong with that one. And then we're in long here on natural gas, but it's looking a little bit dangerous. We needed to essentially push back up towards break even above this structure here to start to look like we're going to push up. Obviously, we got this trend line. Yeah, a break is just going to start triggering some sells. So maybe wait a little bit before entering. See if we can make that push up higher, essentially. But yeah, three long positions on crypto. Got a long on that gas and a short position on NZD USD. So it's a relatively busy morning. It's nothing too crazy.
Is the three-star Michelin restaurants that the UK has. We've got 8 of them, and we still have them. So we've managed to retain all of those stars, of course, awarded by Michelin based over in France.
I booked you a table at Back Garden Grey for breakfast. So just so you know, you'll be there in about an hour, I think, from central London.
90 minutes, I reckon,
90
from
minutes.
the
Cool.
city.
Well, they're waiting for you. Heston Blumenthal is waiting for you at the Back Garden.
Oh, wouldn't that be delightful? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's tell our minds some more serious matters, shall we? Rather than just eating. Okay, two of the largest ever US bank failures, of course, Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank. Now all the investigations begin into what went wrong. So you've got the governor of the Bank of England, Andrew Bailey, who's going to testify beginning of this hour, and you also
Yeah.
have
So 9:45, we get Andrew Bailey talking. So we'll see how things going to play out.
Joining us now to discuss fantastic roundtable, we have Bloomberg UK Finance Chief Tom Metcalf and our markets reporter Valerie Titel. Welcome to both of you.
Those that are just joining us, welcome. This is officially the morning live trading session, so you will be here for a bit. See what we can get. Okay, so those that are just joining us, we're in on a long position on Bitcoin, Link, as well as Litecoin. See how things kind of play out. We need things to start to move. And we're in on a short position on NZD USD. Currently in the long here on natural gas, but it's looking a little bit dangerous, not going to lie. That's your trend on that. We're hopefully going to hold. It's still relatively weak sell side, so we'll see whether we can hold it. Now, just do bear in mind you can get little overextensions. Okay, so ideally you want it. Our stop loss is at the breaking point, really. So, yeah, we'll see how things kind of play out. We've added a bit of margin, so we'll keep a close eye on it. But yeah, essentially, I want to get Bitcoin to break through the structure here. Kind of compressing at the moment, rebounding off this nice level here. This is kind of the bottom of the range, which we came down and rebounded off. Okay, so yeah, things. If we get the nice structure starting to build here and start to see a little bit more buy side actually coming into the market, we should see a break to the upside. Your dollar is struggling. Now I do think we still got a little bit more room to come down. So we do need this to start to materialize relatively soon on the crypto side of things. So yeah, we're keeping a close eye on things. It's not too bad. It's just, again, the way things are structured this week is just going to be very slow movement, slow general movement. It's not going to be like the crazy price action that we've been getting in the previous 2 weeks. The previous 2 weeks for trading have just been perfect. Lots of opportunities, nice structure to play off. It's just been generally great to find opportunities and capitalize on them. So naturally, end of the month, end of the quarter, naturally things start to tail off. Volume tails off a little bit. Markets tend to restructure. So yeah, it's a great time to take kind of just sit back, relax, and gather yourself for the new month. Really. Yeah, Thursday, Friday this week is your big days in terms of data. That's where you're going to see the majority of movement in terms of price. But yeah.
Well, look, I mean, testifying is not easy. They're going to get thrown a lot of questions. In the prepared remarks, though, the Treasury...
Thank you for the likes as well, by the way, guys. Very much appreciate it.
Including different types of stress testing that they're prepared to do, changing liquidity
Tom, on the UK and the scrutiny over SVB UK, and obviously the purchase by HSBC for £1, Bailey's going to be testifying on this again in around 30 minutes time or so. What do we know about
Getting a little bit of movement. It's not too bad.
that UK affiliate of SVB and whether they could have foreseen this?
Well, there were some very interesting comments Bailey made in a letter to this committee, basically saying, we've actually been watching them for 12 to 12 months, I think he said, or even longer, and actually shared some concerns with US regulators. So again, it goes to my point of like everyone's moving around going, oh, look, if people had listened to us, this would never have happened. I think that's slightly sort of, special pleading, right? Like, the Bank of England was regulating the UK unit. Wasn't much evidence that, had kind of done anything in particular to stop it. But that's what I'll be listening out for, as you say, in about half an hour. How does Bailey present this? Was this sort of a ticking time bomb that they were aware and perhaps other people dropped the ball? Or, was it just one of those, lots of circumstances coming together? I think in general he's going to largely sort of praise what the Bank of England did. Because, I think with HSBC coming in, no government intervention buying that bank, I think largely they're happy with how it happened.
Yeah, just structure, man. It's very, very, very slow price action. There's not much going on. They should pull down a little bit further. We're break even now on this, so it's risk free currently. I think instead of chasing that really wide target, somewhere around this level here would be ideal, or even somewhere here. We've got these moving averages that we need to kind of breach. So we'll see. There's a little bit of liquidity just here. It literally caught that entry so perfectly as well. Kind of hold in here as well. Slowly but surely, guys. Patience, patience, patience. Do you trade Forex as well? What strategy? Yeah, I do trade Forex, yeah. So I presume you deleted that because we've just gone over NZD, USD. Yeah, I trade everything, mate. The least asset that I trade is kind of stocks and shares. That's probably the least one that I trade. Commodities, so cryptos is the most that I trade. Then I trade commodities and then FX, kind of. Yeah, like the similarities between crypto and commodities. There's quite a linkage between. That's quite easy to move from one to another. Whereas Forex kind of differs a little bit further from crypto. But yeah, wherever there's kind of opportunities, if the economic calendar sets up nicely to movements in the FX space, we'll take a look. Things look good. We'll take a position. But yeah, we trade everything really. Anything that looks good. It's always good to kind of diversify out, especially sometimes crypto's really quiet. Nothing much happens. It's good to have other markets that you're comfortable with trading and looking at and capitalizing on, right? So yeah, it's never really a dull day for trading. So we're always kind of on the lookout for opportunities in the market. So yeah, you get crypto trades, FX trades, equity trades, commodities. We do. I mean, trading gold and oil is just it's lovely to trade it. Volatility. I mean, especially oil volatility in oil is very similar to crypto. So again, going back to the point that I made, that it's quite easy to transition between both of them. And even the fundamentals as well. The fundamentals are quite similar. So again, kind of making it easier to transition between both. FX is a little bit different. Do you trade in Asia time? My sell gets hit many times in Asia timing. What do you think? Yeah, we, I mean, we need to get some sleep in now and then, but um, yeah, we will trade sometimes all the way up to about 2 in the morning sometimes. Um, but yeah, it's just essentially kind of knowing, okay, where the volatile trading sessions, um, and if you're planning on keeping a trade open overnight, you got to kind of check it before you do that. If it's deviating too far from your entry price, then sometimes you have to just cut the loss sooner, or change your stop loss. Yeah, it's all about kind of just doing that plan and looking ahead of time. In terms of the economic calendar, are you expecting any volatile news in that Asia session that's going to potentially move that trade against you? If there's not, then again, you can feel a little bit more comfortable with keeping that position open for that Asia session. And then just make sure, okay, be up relatively early and monitor. You can monitor the trade before the next trading session, because essentially, obviously, depending on the trading session, opens and closes are when the volatile price action comes into play, right? But yeah, crypto is relatively okay to keep overnight. And we kept some positions overnight last night, in all fairness, um, and they didn't go in our favor. We pulled some long positions just because Bitcoin bounced off the bottom here, right, and they decided to kind of consolidate. And on this bottom here, we opened. It was either this bottom or this bottom. We opened some long positions, like kind of expecting things to kind of break out. Um, but yeah, the thing is also, I mean, the altcoins, if you're taking altcoin positions, you need to compensate for the extra volatility that you get. Um, so yeah. The safest thing is just trade on the trading sessions that you're awake for, essentially. Um, yeah, there's always another trade. So if things don't play out in your trading session, um, it's all about discipline. So just, okay, if nothing happened in my trading session, that's fine. I'll take the rest of the day off. I can work on other things, and then come back. But it's essentially just look at the the economic calendar for the upcoming week. Okay, that's what we do. On a Saturday and Sunday, we get the economic calendar up, and we already know, and already planning the upcoming week around the economic calendar. Again, the update that we sent out on Sunday literally describes, okay, where the volatility is going to come in for this week, which is Thursday and Friday. That's where you're going to see the big moves. We also said Bitcoin and the crypto space is going to be relatively quiet between Monday and Wednesday, okay, because there's not much economic data coming out that's going to impact it. So yeah, it's relatively quiet for crypto between Monday and Wednesday, and then your traditional markets are where there's going to be a little bit more movement. Again, yesterday we capitalized on that gold short position. That was just perfect. It was just amazing. We caught that short position. So again, this was on our live stream. So this is why, again, it's useful to tune in on these lives. The week before, I mean, we capitalized on a major oil trade, again, short position. So there's loads of opportunities. Yesterday, we kind of closed our oil position a little bit early. I will hold my hands up to that before it just flew up. So, I mean, we cashed in some profit. It just wasn't much. So I think it was this. So yeah, we noticed this structure here, but it was just struggling to really break. So we were like, okay, we'll just take our profit and cash in, and then before we know it, two hours down the line, we got that pump. But again, I mean, it was something that we were going over on the live. So yeah, how to make trades. I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, how to enter, or do you need an exchange or anything like that? Stuff like that, you have to message me privately because I'm not able to discuss third parties. So like your brokers or anything like that. But if you need help, I'm more than happy to go over that with you. What type of trader are you? So price action mainly, so smart money concepts essentially. So you got your volume, your price action, your supply and demand zones. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, but it's not a complicated strategy that I use. As you can see, there's minimal indicators. Okay, because I keep things nice and simple. I just follow the money flows technically. So yeah, my volume, my price action, my price patterns. So obviously your breakouts, your rebounds of supply and demand. So I use order blocks and Jeff Fibonacci's. It's very simple trading strategy. I don't overcomplicate it. There's no need to overcomplicate an already complicated system. Let's say this over and over again. So yeah, smart money concepts. Let's go. Yeah, it's the way to go. Like you. So watching people do TA without volume, just it baffles me because volume literally tells you so much valuable information on price action. It's the way forward. It is the way forward. So now natural gas coming into profit. So well done. Also, our NZD USD is very much nicely in profit now, coming straight down. We'll see how things kind of react here. This is essentially your first area of support. You see this previous structure of resistance breaks out. So this could be potentially new support. So we just need to be a little bit careful on here. The next area, see this order block. So this goes back to what supply and demand zones. We use order blocks. If you use smart money concepts and you don't use order blocks, I highly suggest you take a look at it because it will change your game completely. So obviously with smart money concepts, you follow liquidity, right? So yeah, you got order block here. That's your kind of next level of support. You got that 50 moving average, so you kind of can tell or kind of look for a bounce somewhere around that region there if we break through here. But yeah, I mean, so far so good. Trades are coming in. Here's your gas trades. It's just crypto is just not working. See how kind of Bitcoin's making a push up higher, but you got your altcoins just setting up structure. So yeah, you got to be patient with. You got to give it a little bit more room for things to kind of jig within. So it just happens when you're running a very low volume, very low liquidity. Things kind of move and search for liquidity, and that's exactly what's happening here. So just be patient, give it a little bit more room, and just average into your positions. But there's more upside potential than downside potential currently on your crypto spaces. Order block, yes, Wyckoff. Absolutely love Wyckoff without a doubt. Distribution, accumulation, etc. That's it. I stay away from support and resistance. Yeah, no, you're onto it. Now, support and resistance. See, this is what I teach people, right? Support and resistance is just your higher time frame support and resistance, right? It's all about working out where your key levels, okay, significant levels, and in terms of support and resistance, it's kind of more psychological levels. So like your all-time highs, for instance, that's something that I would draw a resistance kind of point. But essentially, if you also use your order block, so for instance, here you got a nice order block here, right? So you got two layers of confluence, but like support and resistance really is mainly for mapping out market structure, okay? And a lot of people kind of miss and don't really grasp and understand this fundamental mapping, kind of drawing of technical analysis is mapping out and understanding what's actually considered a breakout of structure, and that's where your support and resistance does come in. So yeah, that's something. That's how I kind of use support and resistance. Now, as traders, it's unrealistic to think, okay, price is going to come to a single point in price. Okay, it's just unrealistic. It's not going to happen. But you in terms of mapping support and resistance, again going back, it's kind of that structure. So for instance, this structure here. Okay, see how prices came down and tested that area nicely, but you layer the confluences on top of each other. So you got that area of previous structure turn into new structure, but it's then okay. Where's my order block? Okay, so it's layering both of them, and you can then look at, okay, I've got my order block here, I've got my previous structure, and you can actually look at, okay, this is the concentration of liquidity being held at that point. So instead of looking for prices to rebound off this wider order block, you can kind of narrow it down to a smaller area. Okay, but again, it's just as traders, it's just unrealistic to think that price is going to come to a single point. It's actually less accurate than using a range. Is limit or stop or market better? Market, again, depends on the market and exchange that you're using. Okay, so if the exchange and the market or the asset that you're planning on trading has got a lot of liquidity, okay, you can go with your market. Okay, there's not gonna be a huge split in price. But let's say for FX, for instance, or FX or commodities or anything like that. Now, it's better to use limit orders. Okay, you'll get your opening contract price closer to the actual current price at that time. So yeah, if you tend to use market orders to open positions in FX, commodities or anything like that, what will happen is that your opening price of that contract will be a lot further away from the actual current price. So it will take longer to come into profit, if that makes sense. So you'll naturally open the position down. So you just need to be careful with that. So it's always worth especially looking for brokers or exchanges that you're going with an exchange that has got very good liquidity and isn't giving you those ridiculous spreads which you get in traditional markets. You get ridiculous spreads. That's why, especially if you kind of follow signal groups or anything like that, right? You will get kind of limit orders for your traditional market signals, because it prevents having to deal with the huge spreads and opening a position automatically in loss. If that kind of answers your question. Now, in terms of crypto, we open market. We don't mess about with limits really, but we also kind of market in terms of traditional markets, but it's sometimes we'll look for limit orders. It's also because of the trading style that we trade in. Okay, it's very much quick, shorter movements, so short movements in the market, so day trading. So yeah, we kind of tend to, okay, prices hit this level, we're just going to get in. We don't mess about in terms of, okay, really planning the trades. Okay, I'm going to set this is the area for entry. I'm going to set kind of buy-in orders or limit orders within that area. Now, we used to do that, but for me personally, I'm looking at price action at this level of resistance or support, and if it adheres to my plan, I'll just get in. Okay, so we got a little bit of movement here. Okay, Okay. Right, I'm gonna close my New Zealand dollar USD trade. I'm out now. This I'm still in, but this is looking a bit rough at the moment. So we'll see how things kind of hold up.
The demonstrations have made history both in their scale and diversity, with CEOs, tech entrepreneurs, and even members of the military expressing dissent.
And in other news, an assailant shot and killed 6 people, 3 of them.
That was a nice trade though. So anyone that got involved on that FX position, amazing trade. Very, very nice. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes as well, guys. Very much appreciated. Where is it?
Meanwhile, another community mourns its losses due to gun violence. In San Francisco, I'm at Baxter, Bloomberg Daybreak Europe.
Those are some of our top stories for you this morning. There's an excellent piece in Bloomberg Business Week that I'd highly recommend. Fascinating. China has become the lender of last resort to developing
101 pips on that New Zealand and US dollar trade, so it's not too bad, is it? 101 pips.
Well, they're hugely exposed to countries that are under significant pressure, like Pakistan, for example, huge debt owed to China in that nation and close political ties as well, but also Sri Lanka, and that's been a source of huge controversy. Linkages, of course, to the Belt and Road Initiative that has been crafted out of Beijing, so significant for global debt.
Okay, now we're back at that trend line. Let's see if we can hold, make a move. Things are looking a little bit weak, so we need it to start flipping over. Yeah, it was a very nice setup, very nice trade. Bit got it about that gold trade because it's continued to break down. It's just kind of that structure there was just not nice. So yeah, we'll stay away from that now. Very awkward. Some of these altcoins are just not moving perfectly. Even, I mean, the dollar index, see this, how we're moving up, but Bitcoin's relatively unchanged. Patience, 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 guys. Hold tight. Things will start flipping over, so just gotta go with the flow.
The Big Take, a daily podcast from Bloomberg and iHeartRadio, highlighting the best reporting by Bloomberg News from around the globe.
This is a really fascinating story. It's caused a lot of outrage among investors. It will really set the economy on a road to disaster.
Each weekday, we dig into one important story and tell you why it matters.
The market shut down in a way it's never done before.
That's going to have consequences for years to come.
Listen to The Big Take on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen.
Is your accounting and tax firm the right fit for you and your business? With so many accounting firms are you getting the attention and responsiveness you need? You need established advisors who find opportunities in the current business and tax environment. Anshin is focused on providing the attention and fit you need to succeed.
Oh, yeah.
Let Anshin accountants and advisors map out a
Yeah, I mean, oil's on a bit of a rampage, isn't it? Yeah, there isn't a lot. The next in line really is looking at crypto. Now, in 6 minutes to be exact, Andrew Bailey speaks. So we'll see what we can get here. Let's have a little look at some pound pairs. Ooh, a potential short here maybe. It's a nice short. Yeah, I'm gonna take a short here. See what we can get. What is it? Pound dollar. Do we look good? That's the question. This is your next area for liquidity. Starting to turn. Could get a nice move.
Markets, headlines, and breaking news 24 hours a day at Bloomberg.com, on Bloomberg Television, and the Bloomberg Business app. This is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
It is 9:40 here in the City of London. I'm Tom Mackenzie checking your markets for you. Across the equity space,
Woo!
Stoxx 600 currently gaining 0.2%, pairing some of the earlier strength, but still the concerns around banking contagion continue to ease, at least on this Tuesday, following on from the session that we saw yesterday. S&P E-minis now flat.
I'm just gonna play it straight to here. Let's see what we can get. I'm gonna move. I may as well just move it straight to break even. So we're at break even. Come on. Give me a little bit more movement. Alright. Alright, I'm closing it. Just take my quick profit there. We don't mess about. We got that anticipation move ahead of the Andrew Bailey speech, so nice and quick. Yeah, capitalize on two nice trades so far. Why not? Okay, now we're getting a little bit of a rebound on crypto. Now we're coming up, by the looks of it, we're coming up, filling up the gap. Okay, again, as mentioned, push up, fill that gap up, and then come down on that move down as we find resistance and move back down. Hopefully we get that push up in crypto prices. So again, that's the structure that we're holding off and waiting for at the moment. Yeah, let's see what we can get. Very quick 100 pips on that trade. Very quick. Nice move. Very nice move. Trades like that. Beautiful. All we need now is those crypto pairs to make a push up, really. Can we get a move?
Yes, before we get over, before this happens, there's a lot of excitement about Andrew Bailey and the BOE governor's testimony, and that's why we kind of derailed Caroline. Just very briefly, it's very difficult to derail Caroline Hefker for any significant amount of time. But we're going to talk about the markets before we get to and dip into Andrew Bailey and that testimony. With Hugh Gimber, of course, of JP Morgan AM Global Market Strategist over at JP Morgan. Hugh, thanks for joining us in the studio. Let's start before we get to the BOE. Let's start with what's happening with the Fed, because there is this very strong debate now, heated debate as to the next steps, and that's been unfolding for a while. But you have the likes of Jeffrey Gundlach coming out on one end saying we're going to get a recession, it's going to happen in a few months, you're going to have to cut rates. The Fed's going to have to cut rates. BlackRock, though, this morning, coming out saying they're not going to resort to the old playbook. They're going to continue with rates because inflation remains entrenched, and again, that is their primary focus. Where do you and the team at JP Morgan stand on this?
So I think there's actually a middle ground between those two, because I think the case for the Fed to pause here is very...
Getting a little bit of support now in crypto, which is good. See if we can make that break. Essentially, we need to see that buy side volume start to pick up, which is going to indicate we got buy side momentum to make that break of structure. So, yeah, let's have a little look. Slowly but surely, guys. Slowly but surely. Do you have a trading channel to join? So you will have to message me privately. Unfortunately, TradingView will ban me if I mention anything like that over a live stream or a recording or a public recording. So yeah, message me privately. If you just click on my name, little message icon should come up. If you just click on that, message me privately, and then I can freely discuss that with you. But yeah, I can't. Unfortunately, TradingView is very much restrictive in that sense. I can't say anything over a live stream. But yeah, beautiful. Tell us about MA. So moving average is okay. So, there's I use three different moving averages now. I just kind of use the industry standard. Okay. Now, again, it's kind of subjective in the sense that each market kind of adheres to certain moving averages. More so or less so. Okay, so again, it's a trial and error process depending on the market that you trade on. But essentially, the way that I've got my moving averages set up is so the red one is 200 moving average. Now that's a simple moving average. Okay, now my 50, which is the blue, and the yellow, which is the 100 moving average, they're exponential moving averages. So I use a mix. Okay, so simple 200, and then I got the exponentials as 50 and 100. Now this is kind of what it works for me, and it works more so across the assets that I trade on. So obviously I trade not just crypto, but I trade commodities, equities, and FX. Okay, now this is just what works for me, and that I see that I can kind of translate and transition across to the other markets. Now, these moving averages are kind of more set up for crypto. Okay, so price doesn't adhere to those moving averages. So in the same way, when kind of I look at the FX commodities kind of sort of space. So it's just, you have to just kind of play around and get used to it and understand, okay, my 50, my 100 moving average kind of can be more relied on in crypto, but then when I look at and kind of use them in a commodity or FX, there's a little bit more of a chance of a slight overextension. So it's just understanding the moving averages that you have on your chart and how they work in when being used in different asset classes. Okay, but yeah, that's my standard 50, 100, 200. It's also the industry standard. Okay, now some traders use 20 moving average. Again, that's kind of more for kind of short-term traders. But essentially, moving averages, okay, what they do is they give you kind of nearer term areas of support and resistance that you can use as taking profit, or kind of areas at which you're looking at, okay, this I could potentially rebound for an entry or an exit, or break through for an entry or an exit. Okay, that's where the moving averages come in hand. Now, moving averages on the higher time frame can also kind of give you a quick perspective on the outlook of the market direction. But mainly the way that you use moving averages is just you get a closer or nearer term area of resistance or support. But yeah, I mean, on the high time frame, obviously a 200 moving average. If price crosses with a 200 daily moving average, for instance, that's a sort of signal in itself. But yeah, it's the main way that we use it. It's kind of just a next or a nearer area of support and resistance that you can take profit out or look for a potential entry. Thanks for your answer. Would you please tell us about their relations with the time frame? So again, I've touched on that, but it's kind of the same thing with a lot of different indicators, right? The higher the time frame, okay, the more significant that indicator will be, or for instance that moving average. So let's say I'm on the daily. Okay, because I'm on a higher time frame, it's the 50 moving average is 50 days, or the 200 is 200 days of data taken into consideration. Whereas if I'm on the hour, it's 200 hourly candles. Okay, so if I'm on a higher time frame, okay, the moving averages are going to be stronger, right? It's going to hold more strength in the market. So if prices come down here, for instance, see how I've got this area mapped here, as well as that 50 moving average kind of lining up quite nicely. Okay, so that gives me two layers of confluence, and quite strong confluence because I'm on a daily time frame. Okay, so that's where you can relate in terms of all the comparison between kind of your indicators with your time frames. Again, with anything, okay, you will hear it over and over again in trading: top down strategy, multi time frame strategy. Okay, and again, it's the same concept. Okay, your higher time frame holds the strength. Okay, as you go down in time frame, things up, like price action, your indicators don't hold as much strength. It's easier to break through those sort of indicators, those sort of levels. But yeah, hopefully that answered your question. Also, I mean, with moving averages, there's a concept called golden cross and death cross. Okay, now new traders have a tendency to really rely on this, because new traders, what they search for is they search for the easy route to make money, the quick scheme. Okay, so a golden cross it gives them very simple terms. in terms of okay, the 50 moving average crosses over with the 200 moving average. It's a signal that things are going to move, are going to spike up in price again. Or the def cross, for instance, the 50 crosses over with the daily, the 200 on the daily time frame. It's going to signal a massive sell-off. The way that you use golden crosses and def crosses are as confirmation for a move. You should already be looking or potentially entered on the position before it crosses over. Okay, but again, a golden cross, a def cross, again, you will see it on the news when it does occur. And essentially, what you want to look at it on a daily time frame. That's where the concept came from. Now you can translate that to different time frames, but just again, bear in mind the same rule follows. It's not going to hold that much strength. And bear in mind, okay, maybe you might get a golden cross on the 4 hour, the 1 hour, but shortly after it recrosses with itself. That's why you don't rely on golden cross and def cross, because the moving averages can cross straight back over with each other after crossing and signaling a golden cross or a def cross. Okay, so yeah, it's confirmation only. Okay, you should already be in the position before that. But yeah, that's kind of moving averages in a nutshell, really. They're useful, but the way they use it is kind of gives you a nearer term. That's why we use the exponential 50 and 100, because they move with price. They put more weight on the calculation with nearer term price action compared to older price action. That's where your simple moving average kind of is calculated, right? So you get the exponential moving averages will move much more quickly, and they're a lot more sensitive to more recent price action. Again, that's why we keep the lower moving averages as exponentials and the longer term one as a simple. So 50, 100 as exponential moving averages, and then got the 200 moving average as a simple for those that want to know. But yeah, by the looks of it, we're coming into profit on crypto now. Things are starting to rebound. Again, guys, this is why it pays off to, you got to be a little bit patient, especially on these very low volume days. It's just one of those. It happens. I wish we had stayed in on this. It's starting to move now, but the price action just wasn't nice all around here. I guess that's kind of it for space. Analysis on gold. Yeah, of course you can. So, I mean, we tried to pull a short position, but things pulled up a bit too far for me, so we're out. As you can see, we're making that move back down. Now, we caught this short here. Okay, this was actually put on a live stream. We caught this move down here. See how you got this order block here? Previous structure. That's where your liquidity is held out. We broke through that trend line. We came straight down, and we basically soaked up some of that liquidity. We saw a little bit of a rebound. Very weak buy side. See how buy side failed to materialize. Came up, tested. Not really a major level, but there's a little bit of resistance there. We made that pullback now. Now, this is your next level to look at, really, this previous structure here. We actually saw things, well, we were kind of expecting this price movement here to actually come down towards this area. This area here before rebounding a bit more heavier. That's essentially the kind of larger area of support. Now, if it fails to really materialize in terms of sellers to come past this point here, you could see prices kind of just build up structure here and either push up or push down. Now, in the long term, I do see kind of gold pushing back up. but this is your stronger area of support. Can you see how you got previous resistance support here, and you got that 100 there? You got lots of liquidity being held down here. So yeah, come down, test, and then start building up, maybe to push back up. Long term kind of outlook on gold is quite bullish. Okay, just all around the economic forecast for this year is not looking good. Investors are very much going to be looking for those safe havens. They're going to want to deploy their cash, right? So again, gold is a good safe hedge against kind of economic downturn. So yeah, I don't think this is the last of gold pushing up higher. We actually had a potential move above 2K. Now, again, we sent out a very important update, a market update on Friday. So go and check that out if you haven't checked that out. It's not on our TradingView, but we don't send market updates on our TradingView anymore. But essentially, we kind of go through the market expectation projections for the rest of the year, as well as the Fed's expectations projections for the rest of the year, and they are so worlds apart that if this data that we're going to get, obviously next month, your CPI figures, don't get any better, the market is going to sell off. I'm still looking at a massive downturn on your equities, on your S&P, or your Nasdaq, your Russell. Which essentially you're going to see that money transfer, right? The money transfer is going to go from your risk on, which we're kind of seeing a little bit of a change, to your safe havens, and that's where gold and silver comes in. And again, we do say this on the update that we sent out on Friday. Okay, you either want to hold cash, predominantly cash, for the fire sale that we should be that I'm expecting to be getting, and then you can deploy it at these extremely cheap prices, and kind of also deploy some money into your silver, into your gold, because that's where you're going to see the transfer of money kind of going into. So silver, gold, and cash ready to be deployed for much cheaper prices. But yeah, hopefully I answer your question. But yeah, as mentioned, go and check out that update we sent out last Friday. Very important update. We do go through the CME projections, market expectations, as well as the Feds. And yeah, you're on, the markets are over on here, on this side, and the Fed's on the other side. Completely different perspectives on the outlook for this year. And it's essentially a bubble waiting to be burst. Okay, it's going to have to give way one way or the other. Okay, and the Fed is essentially the Fed is who controls monetary policy, essentially. Okay, so they hold the power. The market doesn't really hold the power. If the Fed really wanted to crash the market, they can do that. And yeah, they're just completely worlds apart, man. If that CPI figure does not significantly change next month, you can wish farewell. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes as well, guys. Thank you. Now see how we're holding that bottom there nicely. Now we need that ramping up to make that push. We're going to look at the dollar index where it's at. See, we're basically filling it up. See how the dollar makes a move up, right? And Bitcoin doesn't make that move down. Okay, as soon as the dollar fills up this gap and finds resistance and starts to pull back lower, you're going to see a push up higher on crypto. That's why you gotta just be a bit patient and understand kind of the dynamics that crypto moves within. So yeah. Great, thanks. Yeah, well, you're welcome, mate. Like I said, I mean, we're here. We do these live streams Monday to Friday. So yeah, you can find us a few times a day. Now we plan 3 times a day, Monday to Friday to come live. So your London Open, New York close. But you'll see us at least once or twice. Again, it also kind of depends on market conditions. If nothing's really moving, what's the point of coming on a live trading session if nothing's going to happen? So if we see setups, obviously we do our pre-market analysis before we go live. If things are looking good, then we'll come live, especially if there's any news to come out. We'll be live, we'll do it live, and trade it with you guys. So yeah, see how things kind of play out. Seeing a little bit more price action coming in. Thank you for the follows. Much appreciated. It's the best way to support the channel, to be honest. Follows and likes. So we really do appreciate it when you guys do that. So we've got some nice candle structure here. Now, the only thing that we're lacking is the momentum in terms of buy side volume. We need that volume to start picking up. Otherwise things are gonna kind of slow down and pull back. So we do need to see kind of a build up in buy side volume. But yeah, anyone that's just joining and is new to the channel, feel free to message us in the chat. Any TA that you want us to go over, I'm more than happy to touch base on it. Doesn't need to be crypto related, FX, equity, stocks, commodities. More than happy to touch base on any market. Let's capitalize on some positions. At the moment, I mean, we're being patient. We caught some nice trades this morning. In all fairness, market's been okay. Crypto's just been a bit lagging. We did manage, we closed 2 positions this morning. One was on Ape, which we managed to capitalize some profit. Unfortunately, we opened another 2 positions and we left open last night. They touched our stop loss. So, I mean, you win some, you lose some. You can't have it all the time. But yeah, essentially, I mean, very nice move on Ape. Very, very, very nice move. Cashed in 100% on this one. It's looking okay. For a continuation, but we took our profit and ran with it. DYDX was the one that unfortunately hit our stop loss on this move back down here. It was looking pretty promising. Look at that volume that came in for a move up higher, so we'll keep a close eye on it. Algo was the one that the second trade that we profited on. It's just really, really struggling, but still got good potential. So for those, I mean, you can potentially look at an entry here. It's struggling. It's struggling. But yeah, it's a bit of a mixed emotion crypto market at the moment. So yeah, it's not the easiest to capitalize on. But at least we got some structure to play around with. We know essentially kind of the higher probability direction that the market will take, and that is upwards. So again, it's just staying patient. Okay, yeah, we're in on some longs. We'll adjust when necessary. So sometimes we just need to give it a little bit more room than normal. Again, that's understandable on a low volume market. Okay, it happens. So you either stay out, or yeah, you understand. Okay, the structure that you're playing within. So yeah, let's see how things kind of capitalize. Yeah, we've been on the live for a long time now, 3 hours. Just keep it up. But yeah, those are new to the channel. You can find us. I mean, we're live Monday to Friday for the London Open at 7 a.m. UK time, and then we'll stay live until things start to really die off. We'll be normally back live about midday for a New York opening session, and then the same rule follows. We'll wait until things die off, and then if things look good for a New York closing trading session, we'll come about 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. UK time for a New York close. So yeah, sometimes it's a really long day for trading. Sometimes we make very good positions on the London session. Recently, the London session has been really, really good. Nice amount of opportunities to capitalize on. In all fairness, the London sessions have actually been a bit nicer than the New York opening sessions recently. But yeah, sometimes it changes. You just gotta keep consistent with it, and go from trading session to trading session. This is why it's important to understand the trading sessions and crossover times and opening times, closing times, because then you got structure to your day. You got your structure to your trading day, and you know, okay, where's my downtime? Where can I plan? Where can I get trades in the pipeline? Which is really important. Making sure that you've got a pipeline of potential trades and setups that you can quickly flick back to. If the market changes, if the market picks up in volatility or not. Yeah. Thank you for the follows. Thank you. Do you have a trading channel to join? Again, yeah. So you're gonna you have to message me privately about any of that information. I'm not allowed to disclose that on a live trading session or anything public on TradingView. They're very, very, very strict on their guidelines, unfortunately. So yeah, message me privately. I can help you out. Things are loading up, guys. Things are loading up. Just gotta be patient. Things will move. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some more margin to this link trade, and I'm going to bring that stop loss a little bit lower, just to be on that safe side. Again, I've got to compensate for the overall movement. So I'm just going to add a little bit more margin to this trade, so my average comes down. Do. Yeah, just gotta be patient. Let it do its thing at the moment. Thank you for the follows as well, guys. Thank you, very much appreciate it. again, as mentioned, it's the best way to support the channel is liking the streams, liking the content, and giving us that follow. So yeah, much appreciated. But yeah, those are just joining us. Feel free to message us in the chat section. Any TA that you want us to go over, more than happy to touch base on that. Communicate with us in the chat. We can go over anything, especially if you guys are traders yourself and got a trade scouted out. Share it with us. Let's make some gains together. But yeah, as mentioned, I mean, the market is very, very, very slow. Things are just brewing up, they're setting up for a move. So just got to be patient. But anyway, I mean, this morning managed to capitalize on some nice trades. The very nice trade was on, New Zealand dollar, where we caught that very nice short straight into that liquidity area. See how we got that rebound now? Perfect exit. And now if you wanted to see, okay, things are starting to stall here, okay, you could potentially get another impulse move back down. You got a re-entry. Very, very nice. But you see kind of the structure that you got here. See how you got that move, struggle. You got that secondary move where it just found resistance very quickly. You see how the sellers came in hot. See how you got that very quick reaction from the sellers in continuation. Very bearish signal. Okay, and you can play that down. Breaks through that. It's double top essentially. Breaks through the neckline. You see that cascading price action. Yeah, very, very nice setup. Very nice setup. There we go, pushing back up now. Those that are just joining us, again, positions that we're currently in on a long on Bitcoin, Link, Litecoin, and that's it. That is it. We've closed some positions, we've taken some profit this morning. Okay, so again, get in a nice habit of taking your profit. Okay, don't get too greedy. Just get in a habit of consistently taking and closing your positions. Okay, there's always another trade. Okay, if you're in profit is profit. Take it, cash it in. It's better than breaking even, better than making a loss. Okay. It's about trading is essentially about mastering the art of defense. Protect that wallet at all costs. If you can master protecting your wallet, mastering that defense, you're on the right path. You're going to have a much higher probability of succeeding in trading. Okay. But yeah, welcome to the live stream. Those that are just joining us. Okay, as always, message us in the chat. Any TA that you want us to go over, more than happy to touch base on it for you guys. It's been a pretty successful training session. The last few training sessions have been really, really good, actually. So yeah, let's see how things kind of continue. Now we're just waiting on these Bitcoins trades to start moving. They are coming into profit. It's just the link position that's just brewing up against, building on a little bit of structure here. Hopefully we can get a nice turnaround, push up to the next area of resistance. So again, be patient. Two of the 3 crypto trades that we're in are in profit. So slowly but surely, be patient. Again, know the structure that you're moving within. Okay. We'll be alright. We just need this to fill in. Okay, once this gets filled up, It's going to find resistance quick. This price action here is very, very weak price action. And yeah, we'll move back down. Essentially, we're just waiting for that gap to be filled up. Once the gap's filled up, we start finding resistance and pulling back. These crypto pairs are going to start absolutely flying. I say absolutely flying. That's a bit of an over exaggeration, but they'll start moving a bit heavier. Now again, just do bear in mind, crypto has a tendency to overextend and fake out. Okay, so it's very much a possibility that we can break a little bit of structure and then move straight back into structure. It happens all the time in crypto, so you just need to be aware of that. This is your level of support. Okay, that's where your liquidity is being held at. If we break, then again, could get a little bit of overextension back in. Yeah, it literally happens all the time in crypto, so you need to be careful of it. Okay, a lot of people take impulsive moves when something like this, you got this structure and it breaks out. Before you know it, you're straight back into structure and it goes straight back in the opposite direction. Don't take any impulsive moves in crypto. More times than not, you're going to get burnt. Let's see how things kind of play out, yeah. But yeah, I mean, this gap's going to get filled up. Okay. So it could be the case, right? Your DXY pushes to fill up that gap higher up. This makes a very brief breakout. Okay. Gap is filled up on the dollar index. Resistance is found on the dollar index. A pullback starts to play out on the dollar index. This starts to pull straight back into structure and above structure. Okay, bam, bam. At the moment, I mean, again, as mentioned, failure for the buyers to come in on these three candles here. Hence why we're getting that little bit of a pullback here. But you see how even the sellers are very weak. At the moment, we need that instant sort of pickup in volume. Okay, so maybe the buyers come in hot here and we start seeing volume start to spike up. At the moment, we're just declining. Okay, we need to see pick up. That's where then we start to move or we start to move down. It could very much pick up in sell side volume. But at the moment, we've got a weakening in momentum. We need a pick up in momentum for a breakout. Slowly but surely, guys. Slowly but surely. Pays off to be patient in trading. Patience and discipline. That's what you want. Yeah, just to touch base, I will get a market update out for you all today. It's just going to be a top up on yesterday's update. It's just a top up on structure, but again, those that are new to the channel, just bear in mind, market updates do not get sent to TradingView anymore. So just bear that in mind. But yeah, we'll get one out. Just a top up on lower time frame, just local structure that we're building up on. Thank you for the likes and thank you for the follows. Yeah, this Russia, Ukraine, or East versus West, essentially, or was it NATO versus BRICS? It's not looking good, is it? It's not looking good. essentially the West can't hack the power dynamic kind of switch up. That's what the West does, right? They hold the power and they threaten. And yeah, there's a fight back now, isn't there? BRICS are going to take over. It's all escalating, and the UK, just basically follow the US. I'm seeing a little bit of support here, so let's see if we can get a nice turnaround hold. Bam, be nice. If not, something like that would be nice as well. Now again, I mean, those that are new to trading, or maybe not, whenever you've got joint trend lines or price patterns or anything like that, something you need to bear in mind is overextensions. Okay, and it's something called trap zones. Okay, where you kind of got the inner structure, the inner kind of trend lines where majority of your price action stays within, and then you got these little outside sections or the outer bounds where you see the overextensions happen. Okay, and this is where, for the sake of not falling for impulsive moves and wrong entries, it's always worth drawing trend lines, okay, that go across majority of the price action, which is essentially kind of also crossing over with the opens and closes of candles, and then looking at kind of these larger wicks and taking them into consideration, right? Where, I mean, here you're not really seeing that much, but let's say there was a wick that came down here, a wick that came down here that we could potentially get, and this wick essentially stopped here, right? That gives you an quite clear outer bound structure that you can kind of trade off. And essentially, it's not a clear breakout until you break through both trend lines. It happens all the time, and it's a good tool in terms of, okay, where could I potentially get these fake out areas, so that you don't fall for it. Okay, you're not taking an impulsive sell on the first breakout of this inner trend line, and then before you know it, it hits the second one and straight back into structure. Okay, and it goes against you. Yeah, it happens all the time. Again, it does differ market to market. Some markets are a little bit more susceptible for that movement. Some others follow more stricter price action. But yeah, even with like kind of channels and trend lines, you get that all the time. So it's just worth bearing that in mind. It's something that you will kind of learn the hard way or realize by trading markets for a long period of time. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes. Let's see what we can get, guys. I mean, price action's just really slow. Really slow on crypto. Yeah. Right, okay. There isn't much left. Okay, again, it's just brewing up. It's 10:30. Don't see much. There's no real news coming out. The next trading session is your New York trading session, which is in a few hours. So that's where essentially the next bit of volume is going to come in. I'm just expecting things to kind of structure up. Maybe see that move that I discussed, a bit of overextension on downside and push back up. But yeah, stay patient. Things will play out. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for joining me today. It's been amazing. Again, I will come back live for a New York opening session about midday UK time, so 12 o'clock UK time. Yeah, we'll see what the next session can bring. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me. Okay, we've managed to print some cash. It's been relatively good trading session. It's been a longer trading session. So we've had to stay a bit patient. But yeah, come join me on the next one. Again, as mentioned, I will get a market update recorded for you guys. Again, we do not post market updates on TradingView anymore. It's just live streams. You'll just see us going live on here. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you at 12 o'clock. If not, we'll see you later on or tomorrow morning. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much. Cheers.